Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Martech Matters podcast. This is Brandon Schulte, and today I'm joined by Josh Wolf, who is the Director of Solutions Consulting at Tealium. Welcome to the program today, Josh. Could you tell us a little bit about you and Tealium?
I am the Director of Solutions Consulting, specifically in our partnership group here at Tealium. And Tealium is a platform for collecting, enriching, and distributing customer data in real time. I started off my career at DoubleClick with some of the first pioneers of digital advertising. And when I started here at Tealium, we had this thing, they didn't even know what to call it, and they started calling it a customer data platform. And then over the last many years, it really has taken off and become an industry term. So I've been involved in this sort of Martech explosion, if you will, over the last couple of years. Has become this hot new category. Tealium has over 1,300 turnkey technology integrations. So I really get a great high-level view of the industry in general, and I get to meet lots of interesting people such as yourself every single day, and that just makes the job even more interesting. It's great to be here, and thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you so much, Josh. We really appreciate the time, and I really liked how you talked about, where Tealium's gone with the customer data platform and kind of, being one of the pioneers in the space. And could you tell us a little bit about how Tealium's data-first approach enables that complete customer view?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a challenge that I hear about every day. And personally, I've worked in these legacy systems in the past, and I've sold these legacy systems over the course of my career. And I know how difficult it is to connect them together. And that's really the purpose for building the real-time view of the customer that Tealium CDP supplies. Having that real-time view without a customer data platform is really, really difficult for businesses to do. So what Tealium is going to be able to do is bring in that customer data from all those different sources, combine it into one view, and then share it back out to all those different systems so they're not siloed from each other anymore. And the things you learn when the customer interacts with an email can be used to personalize the website, and the things that the customer shows you when they interact in your store can be used to trigger a message in the app. And that's really, really difficult to do without having this sort of independent framework connecting those pieces together.
I really liked how you talked about how important it is to connect that customer data together. And I think in a lot of organizations, different functional units kind of look to marketing as kind of being that true source of the customer information. Would you be able to kind of go into, how a customer data platform and how Tealium specifically can use technology and data to really fuel growth within an organization?
So every tool that stores some data on the customer has some piece of the puzzle. It has some valuable insight, but at the same time, it's lacking other pieces of the customer data. So by combining it all together, that's what's going to be most valuable to customers. And that's taking data, yes, from their own marketing tools, but from these other areas of the company as well, the sales and the service and all the other places where the customer is interacting with the brand. So while it might be the marketing group that is sort of in charge of the CDP, they're going to benefit from data from all these other sources and be able to really use that to fuel the customer's experience. For example, the customer service ticketing system and the sales CRM system, they also benefit from additional data that the CDP collects and sends back to them. So the customer's experience is going to be improved in all those areas if you have the CDP set up correctly.
Those are great examples, Josh, and really help, I think, resonate with the audience about how a CDP could positively impact their business. Could you kind of talk about these privacy laws and how Tealium might help a company balance some of these considerations to collect the data they need while also preserving privacy and maintaining compliance?
Yeah, sure. And while I'm not active in Europe in particular with Tealium, I know that our European business is very active. And I saw a big uptick in CDP sales in Europe as soon as GDPR started to become a reality over there. And it's because of what I'm about to describe. So privacy is a concern these days, but you can use it to your advantage. And the businesses will see benefits if they can get it figured out better or faster than their competitors. And that's because in many cases, such as Europe, right, we're not going to be able to personalize the marketing to our customers without consent. So there's certain laws domestic, certain laws international. There's web browsers enacting changes for privacy reasons. There's sort of trends in the opinions of the consumers themselves, native app frameworks, all these different things are pushing in from all different sides. So yes, we need to be able to cover ourselves for GDPR and CCPA, but all these other things too. So I think, part of what you want is a flexible framework, because everything's going to change, right? That's basically the only guarantee that I can make, is that everything's going to keep changing. So having that flexible framework is going to allow you to change with the situations that we have to deal with.
I really, can see 100% where you're talking about the need for flexibility and the ability to adjust, to change, because as we all know, both in life, but especially in marketing technology, the only true given is that things are going to change. And recently we saw a big change from Google with third-party cookies and saying that they're going to end support for those at the end of this year, which has kind of continued a trend that other browsers have done over time, which you mentioned as well. How is Tealium working with its customers and prospects to potentially help them aid in this transition away from third-party cookies to more of a first-party data approach?
Is just such a hot topic, right? I feel like at least 50% of my conversations these days with customers are about this particular topic. So the shift is moving towards requiring first-party data with consent as the replacement for third-party cookies. And it's something that a lot of businesses are not really looking forward to, but it's the reality of the situation. So there's two important things from my point of view to consider. I guess the first point is, can the vendors that you work with work without cookies? And if they can, that's great. And if they can't, do you have the new types of identifiers that you need to track your prospects and customers when the third-party cookies are no longer available? And our platform is built in the customer's first party, which is an important starting point. So we're not dropping third-party cookies to track anyone. The profiles that we build are actually our customers. We're just holding them on their behalf. They own all that data. And again, all that consent was managed up front, so we know that the data is okay to use. The next is sort of two trends that I see are moving towards server-side data collection, and then the need to start collecting, again, additional customer PII to do that cross-domain tracking. First of all, move to server-side. It's been happening for many years, but I think this is the push that's going to make it go really mainstream. It's the move from what the industry calls tags, which are JavaScript and pixels and things like that, that are in the browser, in your browser as you're looking at the website, and they're sending data to those different vendors. And it's the move to sending the data server side by APIs instead. And there's all sorts of benefits to moving server side, but there's work involved. And I think that a lot of businesses put it off, but now they really, they're getting the decision made for them, and it's gonna force them to make this move. So server side's gonna help avoid ad blockers, and it's not gonna rely on third-party cookies. But at the same time, those tags are still necessary for certain types of tools. There's all sorts of vendors that we work with that are still gonna rely on those tags. So it's not a complete shift over there, and you're gonna need both for the time being.
Well, it's great that Telium is kind of on the leading edge here, and we're able to talk with experts like you that understand where things are going, so marketers like us and our viewers can stay ahead of that. So I know every time I talk to you, Josh, I learn so many things. I really appreciate all your time this afternoon. Would you be able to give a way that if people wanted more information, where they could either learn more about Telium or learn more, reach out to you directly? Are there anything you'd be comfortable sharing with our viewers?
Yeah, sure. We have, Tealium.com is our website. And if you look on there, there's all sorts of resources and videos and white papers. Our marketing team is putting out white papers all the time. We have an upcoming series of webinars, all related to the loss of the third-party cookie. They just published an article of mine on the blog a couple days ago. We also have our learning community is wide open. You don't have to be a customer to get on there to learn about the products and to learn how the products work. So I would encourage you to go to the Tealium.com website and take a look there. You could always feel free to reach out to me as well. My email address is josh.wolf@tealium.com. I'm happy to have a conversation with you as well, or direct you to the right person in the organization who'd be the one to work directly with your business. So yeah, I'm happy to talk to anyone anytime.
Well, thanks again, Josh. We really appreciate the time, and definitely should be some homework for our readers to go out and check out his blog post here as soon as you see this message.